Hey guys, welcome back. Check out this video by Kris Krohn.
Yep, I actually retired at the age of 26, 39 years faster with this one hack. What did I do? I asked successful people for directions. It's really weird, but most people take financial advice from people that are broke and going nowhere. But successful people, they've actually figured it out. And following their game plan literally helped me create retirement in less than 5 years, which meant that by the time I graduated college, I didn't need to get a job and I was done. The cycle that you need to break is not taking advice from broke people. You need to actually take advice from successful people. They've got the codes and they've got the hacks that can make it all happen for you. And if you're not following society's game plan, maybe you think that you can figure it out on your own, or maybe you're just too afraid to ask. Let's change that right now.
All right, guys. Kirby, this is exactly what I did when I graduated high school. Just trying to connect with, speak with people that had success that I didn't grow up seeing. So, I grew up in a typical family household of, middle class. But all I had seen in my household or in my family was just the normal, just having a job, trying to work your way up to get a better paying job. Once you have a little bit more money, you can, buy things to show for, as I heard often, which was, newer appliances, better cars, a better, more comfortable lifestyle. But I never saw a way out of work. I never saw a way to retire. And I especially often heard like, oh no, I'll never retire, or jokes being made about not being able to retire. And the thought of working for somebody always was just like something negative to me. I couldn't see myself and didn't want to see myself working for somebody or reporting to somebody for the rest of my life until the day I died. And so I started asking people that had little to no debt, had retirement accounts built up, people that were a little bit different than what I was used to seeing, up until meeting the crazy man Kirby. And then I started learning a lot more. But it was just surrounding myself with people that had obvious success, not in the things they had, but in the actions they were taking. And so this video, I would say, is absolutely true. If you want to find out how to be successful, you have to surround yourself with people that are successful, and don't be afraid to ask questions. But what are your thoughts on this?
The first thing I want to state is Kris Krohn is spot on the video. But now back alluding to what you said when you said you grew up in a middle class household and they get a better, better furniture, better appliances, might even get a bigger, bigger and better car. And then they frame it under getting rewarded for the fruits of their labor. But the thing is, they're not rewarding themselves for the fruits of their labor. What they're doing is trying to portray something they are not. People always have that mindset, work hard, play hard, I deserve this, and everything else. But then they wake up and then they're at that retirement age or that age where work is becoming too bearing on their body that they want to sit down. But all of the capital they had to had that ability to retire, to sit down and relax, not work as hard, was wasted on stuff that they don't even have no more. But then they get to that age and then they say, nobody, nobody told me. Did you go seek the answers? Well, when you did go seek the answers, you don't like the answers that you hear. Um, Kris Krohn, he made an eloquent point there where if you want to be something, you have to go to people that have it to ask questions. Because it's a newsflash, people. The people that already have it is more than willing to give you the information, but nobody don't ask. And then Alex, I mean, we talk to, people every day about personal finance. I mean, not on this YouTube channel, just in our personal lives, in the Discord chat and things like that. And the people that do try to go seek the answers, they want to halfway know the answers. What I mean by that is they'll listen to what you have to say, but they still don't want to give up their broke mentality and broke habits, or the habits and mentality that have them in a situation where they're broke or even seeking advice in the first place. They don't want to give up that lifestyle. But the people who are successful, they gave up or turned away from all the things that got them in that situation. I mean, for me, for instance, it was always taught to me, you live paycheck to paycheck. I always asked the questions when I was a kid, well, why don't we save money? Oh, that's not how it works. You're too young to understand. Oh, or, you have the one parent that don't want to talk about money at all. Or if they do talk about money, they embellish what they really have. Uh, so those are the things that people in most of America grow up in those situations. But then as you get older, get older, get older, and then you just develop the habits because you're going to do what you've seen, you know. But for me, that's exactly what I had to do. I mean, I didn't have somebody that I knew that was actually successful that I knew. Me, I grew up in the Stone Age, so all this YouTube stuff wasn't around when I was growing up. But then so that's when I started, reading books, and I want to send a shout out to a soldier that I was happy to deploy with. I'll just call her by her last name, Turner. She was the one that got me just to reading, period. Me, I'm an inner city kid. I ain't trying to read nothing. But when we was on those long deployments and there wasn't nothing to do, she would always pick up a book and then she was like, hey, Kirby, read this book. And I'm saying in my head, like, I ain't never read a book from front to end ever. But the book was actually good, and I just started reading it. Then from that day forward, I just picked up books. And then that's when I ran into the Total Money Makeover years later. And I had the ability just to sit there and read and then grind and then take it in. And then taking in that information made me realize everything that I was doing before I read that book was the wrong thing to do with money. And then maybe, and then I said, and then Dave Ramsey say in the book, maybe you don't get to where I'm at, but if you get halfway there, then you're way better than you were. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said a little different way of maybe let's just say I'm only 50% right, but 50% right is better than where you were. And that right there was like, that was my aha moment. Okay, it will be better than the situation. And I just cut off my habits right there. And then I just went on to learn more, get educated more, read more. And then I started getting in the rooms with people that were successful, and they was telling me, hey, you're on the right track, but you might want to pivot and do it this way. You might want to pivot and do it a little bit this way. And then that's how it went along. I might not ever reach, the apex of where my mentors is at, but a quarter of the way there, halfway there, it's still way better than I was when I was sitting there wondering, do I have to eat a bologna sandwich or am I going to be able to pay the lights and gas bill? So, Kris Krohn is spot on.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, especially going back to what you said on, did you seek out the answers? I don't think that people have any excuse, especially in this day and age when there's so much technology and information, like especially on content regarding finance and investing. There are so many channels right now that answer questions that I had when I was 19 that I learned through you, but now I'm like seeing videos. I'm like, oh shit, like, now the information's coming out. And if you really want it, you would look for it. You would go anywhere needed to go in order to find the answers. I mean, that's how I was. When I wanted to know how to be successful, like I just thought it was so stupid that people were literally working 40 to 50 years of their lives to not have shit and then die. Like, that's all I thought. I'm like, you literally went your whole life, wasted your whole life working somewhere just to survive and then die. Like, that's all I thought of. Like, there has to be more in life, and obviously there's more in life because there's people that are successful. So what are they doing? So I mean, like, while people at work or whatever were so worried about, oh, what is the VP doing or what's the regional doing, the director, like, I'm thinking like, no, what did the owner do to where we're working for him? Like, that's all I could have in my mind was like, how does this guy own us? How does he own this whole thing and just we're working for him? Like, what is he doing? I don't care about the guy getting a high salary. Like, What did the owner do in order for him not to care about a retirement plan, in order for him to not care about medical insurance? Because these were excuses I heard that people had at work. Oh, I need the job because I need health insurance. I need the job because I need the 401k. I need my benefits. But come to find out, benefits are just a way for them to lure you in and trap you. Like, you can have your own personal health insurance if you need health insurance. You can have your own Roth IRAs or traditional IRAs, your own retirement accounts if you want. You don't have to fall into the system that a company provides these things for you. There's obviously people that don't need these things and they're at the top. What are they doing? And that's all I could think about. And it's like nobody has those thoughts. And that's all it took me, was just having those thoughts, those questions, and me wanting answers to those questions in order for me to find this path.
Where I got another one to add for you. How does the owner have the ability to pay those salaries of directors and CEOs and presidents? How do we have the ability to pay those enormous salaries that y'all ooh and ah over and still not worried about it and he still make money?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Exactly.
it's a crazy concept that people look at. People look at, oh, I just want to work, and I hear that argument a lot that you hear of needing the benefits, but again, lack of knowledge. People don't understand that there's an alternative to everything. you know. And like you just said, personal health care, you can get your own personal dental plans. If you have the money, you can get it. And contrary to popular belief, those personal plans sometimes is cheaper than the group plan that the job is providing. And but of course, that information is not readily available. And of course, the job is not going to sit there and tell you, oh, yeah, but it is cheaper if you did it this way. But if people focus on obtaining the money and obtaining the knowledge, the crazy part is everybody's searching for the money. If you search for the knowledge, the money will come with it. That's all it was. It wasn't, I was still getting the same paycheck that before I read Dave Ramsey's book that I was getting after. The only thing that changed was the habits that I did with the money that I was already making. And then now I seen money for what it was. It's a tool. It's something that will get me to do other things. As I gain more knowledge, I looked at it as leverage, to do other endeavors and, purchase other assets. But the knowledge itself is what's going to get you the money. Somebody can hand somebody who has no financial knowledge $1 million, they'll still be broke, and I give it 6 months. They're always searching for the money just to buy. Everybody they want the money to buy. They don't want the money to, hey, let me set my family up. It's always so I can buy the next big thing, the next big thing. And Alex always said, no matter how much money you make in the world, it's a place to spend it. I mean, there's no secret that NBA players make hundreds of millions of dollars. Antoine Walker, I salute him because he had enough humility, even though the world knew that's what happened, but he had enough humility to break down his story about making 118, 119 million dollars over his career, and he's broke, had to file bankruptcy, had no more money because he didn't have the education. And he admitted himself. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the education to understand what money is. I just thought it was to buy stuff. When I grew up, my family never had nothing. The only thing we wanted money was to buy stuff. Then the money was gone. I know everybody's sitting here wondering, how did I have 118, $120 million and lose it all? It's because of the lack of knowledge that I had about finance. But once you get the knowledge, the money will come. It's not the other way around. Because you always hear people say, oh, if I hit the lottery, then I'm just going to start investing. No, you're not. You're just not. It wouldn't be all these stories about lottery winners going broke if that's what people was going to do. So, Alex, I'll leave it there because I can go on for a mile, 4 million years from this one. So, what you got?
No, me too. We'll close it out there. With all this being said, guys, if you like the video, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below, share this video, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.